Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, and I welcome both you and your ears to an episode of Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. In case you're wondering who Angie is, I'm Angie, and I'm super stoked to spend some time sharing with y'all some of my experiences and thoughts on living, loving, music, and space travel, or spiritual experiences as I often refer to as space travel. A rather broad spectrum, right? Well, my hope is to always share something that resonates with, intrigues, excites, or perhaps inspires you. On that note, I invite you to sit back, buckle up, and take a little trip out into the cosmos with me. Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, coming to you with episode number 57 of my podcast, Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. This episode I'm calling My Mental Health Matters to Me. What's been on my mind has been my mental health and the fact that the only person it really needs to matter to is me. I'm incredibly grateful to have made it to a place in my life where my mental health matters to me. And I understand that although it would be wonderful, and it is wonderful, when other people take into account my mental health, or let's say other people think about how their behavior affects the people around them, namely me. Reality with that is that most of us, including myself, are thinking of only us. And it's moments where at least I think how my behavior affects the people around me. I do try and behave in a manner that I think is appropriate or is beneficial to other people's well-being. But at the same time, I also have to keep my mental health at the forefront of my mind. This is such a messy area, I guess. I might be all over the place about it, but just kind of touching on where I began, I spent a long time pretty unwell in the emotional, mental area. As I've mentioned many times on the show, I am in recovery, recovering alcoholic, drug addict, and have been on the road of recovery and self-discovery for quite some time. Put the drink down quite a while ago, eventually put some other stuff down, and it was actually, I put the weed down. It'll be 5 years this summer, I think. Maybe it'll be 6 years. I'll have to look into that. In that time frame, so much has happened. I'm going to put it out there that today, for a little bit longer, happens to be February 1st. I'm recording this. It's about 11:53 at night. And tomorrow, February 2nd, not only is it Groundhog Day, but it's the day I got married, 2010. And I'm not married anymore. Tomorrow would have been 13 years. We made it 10 years married, together for about 18. And as I sit here this evening, I am reflecting on my mental health and how fucking wonderful it is that I'm in the mental state that I'm in right now. I know a lot of people who are not doing very well mentally. I know a lot of people who are pretty challenged, and that's not to say that I'm not. This last week or so has actually been kind of up and down, and I've been having a lot of feelings, and I don't know exactly, I don't want to say I don't know exactly what it is. It's probably a medley of lots of things. It's the winter. I'm missing an actual winter here in North Carolina. It's a weird kind of weather that doesn't look like winter to me, but it is what it is. It's been cold and cloudy kind of. I am missing the snow. There's a lot of stuff. I'm probably nearing menopause. So that has me thrown for a loop. And then the anniversary's coming up, and I don't really know what I'm doing with my life. And I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. And really what I'm also feeling is just life. I believe I'm feeling my feelings. And the reason that I'm able to say that and reflect on it and kind of float through is, I think, because I put my mental health at the top of my list. It's an act of great self-care to continue to do the things necessary to keep me floating at this point, with life being lifey and trying to live a life on life's terms, with things not necessarily being the way I'd like them to be, or people doing what I'd like them to do. That is not the way life is. But very old behavior would be to drink it away or drug it away. And in all honesty, I haven't talked about it too much, but kind of the last frontier of my recovery process is my eating issues. I'm again going through the Noom program. I see a therapist. I just saw him Wednesday, and we talked about a few things. One, including my focus on building a new relationship with food, looking at my triggers. I'm actually trying the intermittent fasting. I'm getting back to that. Like, I'm really trying to build a new relationship with my eating. I'm sort of all over the place, but yeah, hooey. I don't have an expectation that other people should be doing what's helpful to Angie. Not keeping baked goods in the house, not buying ice cream. If mom's listening, no, I'm not expecting that. And I buy ice cream and baked goods on my own. I understand that it comes down to me getting to a place where I want to be well. I want to feel healthy. And so progressively, I'm continuing to move in a forward direction. I do quite a few things to take care of my mental health. I hadn't had a ketamine infusion in a few months, not since I'd been in Colorado. And I have mentioned on previous episodes also, in specific episode number 19, my ketamine chronicle, how helpful ketamine has been to my mental health journey. Getting into the clinic in Myrtle Beach recently, I go to the Future Psych Ketamine Clinic, and I'm very grateful for them. Angel is the nurse practitioner, and I love the staff there. They take care of me, and it was really wonderful to go in and sit down and get some medicine and take some time for myself. On top of that, though, I also participate in a few different fellowships. I've been attending a Monday night meditation for, I don't know, at least 8 months, I think. Could be longer than that. Fronting Life is the group that puts it on. Travis Mickle is the gentleman who put together this fantastic organization, and he provides the Monday night meditation. He does a sound bath, and we have Reiki rejuvenation, and we do some chakra stuff. So I've added that to my self-care toolbox. And that's been incredibly helpful. Finally, building a practice, having a meditation practice. There's a lot of stuff. I've been meeting with a friend, and we've been discussing some recovery-based things, working with others, asking for help. I've had to reach out and ask for help. That was kind of a topic recently. I know a lot of people out there are struggling, and I've had conversations with many, many people who are kind of lost and confused and don't know what to do. And I'm profoundly grateful for the opportunity to pass along my experience, strength, and hope. It gives purpose to my challenging life. And I'm not alone. I'm not trying to make myself sound unique, like I'm the only one who's had a challenging life, because I'm not. So each and every one of you out there has had a life experience. If you're still walking on the planet, you have had a life experience. How fulfilling it is for me, at least, and I like to think it could be for other people, or is for other people, to be able to help somebody else by sharing our experience, strength, and hope. I do have to choose to participate. I'm not cured of anything, I'll say. I have fortunately not really been physically unwell. My issues are generally of the mental health type of issues. And I do believe that there's really no curing some of the things that I'm dealing with, but I can do a lot of work to sort of put them into remission, I suppose. I'm grateful to know that my medicine sort of is growing my spiritual life, continuing to reach out and help others when I can, and staying connected to the things that make me feel better. I've really been missing the gym. I kind of added that in recently over the last month or so. A Friday night session of CrossFit or purposeful movement, I think is what they might call it. And I really love it. And we didn't have it this week because of they went on vacation, the people who were putting it on. I'm very grateful for them. And I've missed it. So instead, actually, this week, I was able to get to a live music event. I went to the Wilson Center, for anyone who's familiar with that venue here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I went to see the Benny Hill Jazz Trio. It was wonderful to sort of fill a space with something different than the old Benny Hill that I know. The jazz was fantastic. They had a guest saxophone player, Wes Anderson, I think is his name, Warm Daddy, a.k.a., and he was fantastic. They were all fantastic. It really got me totally jazzed up for Jazz Fest in New Orleans, and I'll be going in May. And later today, because I think it's actually February 2nd now, Groundhog's Day, I'm going to see Elvis Costello at the Wilson Center. I decided last year I was going to have a new memory. Not that I'm forgetting what was my wedding day. It was a wonderful day at the top of Vail Mountain, and we snowboarded down. I wouldn't change it for anything. But last year I decided I was going to make a new memory, and I went to see Weir Wolf, Bob Weir and the Wolf Brothers in Charleston. And this year, kind of a last minute, the tickets were sold out, but I got a ticket for Elvis Costello. And I'm really excited about going to see him and I think Charlie Sexton and making a new memory. And that is an act of self-care for me. Instead of being home perhaps and boo-hooing, I would actually like to go to my workout, but it's kind of runs into the time frame and I don't think I'll be able to make it to the concert on time. But instead of perhaps wallowing, and I don't think that's how I would have felt, but I'm going to fill my time because I have continued to move forward. My life is moving forward. I was listening to Pema Chodron this evening. Unconditional Courage might have been the name of the book. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Unconditional Confidence is what it's called. Pema Chodron, and she does a talk, maybe at a retreat on it, and then she does an interview session on it. And it's great stuff. It's really about maintaining that confidence in the midst of groundlessness, when the ground is not feeling so steady underneath me, or I'm having a challenging situation arising. I could use some unconditional confidence. I've really been making an effort to stay open to what the universe has to offer me. Letting go of my little plans and designs. I'm sort of talking about a lot of things that I talk about on the show, and what I'm just feeling at the moment is a kind of profound gratitude for, once again, understanding that my mental health, it has to be important to me. I have to be willing to ask for help. I have to be willing to go see the therapist. I'm super grateful that things got so bad that instead of, let's say, getting to a place where the removing myself from the planet was my option, that I instead opted to ask for some kind of help. I want to be here. And it's not easy. It's not easy sitting down and bearing your soul, per se. It feels rather uncomfortable in the beginning. If you grew up in a family, I did not necessarily, but if you grew up in a family that didn't talk to each other, or you didn't share stuff about what was really going on, then actually talking to somebody and sharing about what's really going on can seem incredibly contrary to what you're used to. I sat with some people tonight and we talked about that, what it's like to have to call somebody instead of maybe turning to something else for comfort or relief. Calling somebody, reaching out, doing something different. The other night I went out kind of by myself, spent a day in downtown Wilmington by myself, and it felt weird, but weirdly wonderful. My latest challenge has actually been that I'm contemplating the idea of eventually moving from Wilmington. Oh my goodness, talk about challenging. I was talking to my therapist about it. I was afraid to talk to mom and wondering what the parents would think if I were to move out. I'm 52. They're probably thinking, when is Ange going to move out? No, I do know that they love having me here. I love being here, and they'd be fine with me staying. My therapist told me that I was moving forward, that it was very healthy to be thinking about it, but it comes with feelings. Where will I go? Who will I live with? What will it look like? I got to tell myself to slow down. What I'm really doing now is sitting in the space of what I know is the 3 A's: awareness, acceptance, action. I've been aware that Wilmington is not necessarily my jam. There are a lot of great parts about it, but I am really longing for a different sort of geographic component and nature that's a little bit more conducive to the things that I like to do. So there's been this awareness. Acceptance of that is, I think, just finally settling in that I am looking for something different, and I think it is eventual. And then action, whatever the action looks like eventually. I mean, part of it was I talked to my mom last night and I asked her how she would feel if I moved. And that was scary to me. I don't want to make anybody sad, and that makes me feel a little bit egoic to think that they're going to be so sad when I leave. But I love them and they love me, and I'm grateful to have that kind of relationship. But I understand that I'd like to have a space of my own. I think they can come and stay whenever they want. Kind of a bigger space of my own. If we all lived in a bigger house, maybe it would be different. But I'd like to have people come and visit my house. I am having to work through some kind of strange feelings of guilt around that. That being said, it just reminds me, I'm going to keep repeating it, I guess, but how important it is that I understand that I'm allowed to have my feelings and my fears, and that reaching out and talking to somebody about it is how I work my way through it. As mentioned, choosing to participate in my own recovery or healing or growth process is paramount to continuing to move through it. I love the literature that's available. Anything spiritually focused. I shouldn't say anything because I just listened to Stephen King's, it's not a short story, but his book Later, which was great for anyone who loves Stephen King, and I do. But I listen to a lot of Michael Singer. If you haven't listened to anything by Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul and The Untethered Soul in Action, it's a great book. Listen to it. I highly suggest it. Find something if you're struggling, if you're lost, if you're having issues with drinking or drug use or eating or whatever it is, shopping. There is something out there. There are people out there who are willing to help and will have something that will resonate with you. There is something for everybody, and it gives us an opportunity to participate with one another and realize we're all very, very similar. We're all just on the planet, on a pile of dirt, spinning around in the middle of the universe. It's so ridiculous that we're fighting over ridiculous things when each and every one of us, for the most part, who knows how things will play out, but each and every one of us is going to transition at some point. And so to be fighting over the things that we're fighting over, all of that seems ridiculous to me, when we could just be trying to figure out how to get rid of our emotional baggage, and instead of butting up against one another or somebody else's stuff hitting our stuff in the wrong way, we could somehow be working together. That's my soapbox utopian lifestyle wish. And so for today, I'm just going to continue to keep doing what seems to be working for me, and that is taking care of my mental health. I feel like actually not only does it help me, but it is a great public service. And whether anybody else knows it or not, it's helpful to the outside world for sure. I mean, I like to think that I'm helpful to the system. By taking care of my stuff, I tend to be less of a problem to society. I can actually be of service to others. I will also say I did recently listen to another book by, her name is Bridget Lowry, A Year of Loving Kindness to Myself. It was great. She was funny. The book had some really funny stuff in it. It was essays and ideas and stories sharing her experience, strength, and hope. Blended a lot of different areas of recovery based stuff, I think, also, but just spirituality. The woman who narrated it was either Australian or South African, one of the two. I apologize. I can get the accent confused, but it was great. I've been doing a lot of work on moving through my grief. And one of the best books I've listened to, anyways, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and David Kessler. It's called On Grief and Grieving. And there's work to be done there. If I'm bottled up and have a bunch of stuff inside of me about being sad about the things that have taken place, and I'm not allowing them to pass through, and I'm not healing or working on them, next thing you know, I'm out in the world exploding onto everybody. And I don't want that. That's not fair. It's not fair to the people who love me. It's not fair to myself. It's not fair to strangers. I guess really my message, and I am trying to gently share a message, some gentle suggestions, that it's important that your mental health matters to you. And I say that really with the offer that if you put yourself at the top of the list, you'll find freedom. I know for me, what a journey it's been. What a great, exciting journey. Ultimately, today was very different 13 years ago. I was in a very different place, and that's okay. It's an experience that I will never forget, and I wouldn't want to change. It was a wonderful day in many, many ways, and I'm very grateful to have had it and the people that were participating with us. What an experience. But that, along with many other days, are behind me. And so as I sit here this morning with my marshmallow on the bed, sleeping soundly, thoughts of music running through my head that I'll be able to take in later tonight. It's also my friend Billy's birthday today. Maybe I'll get to see her and do something special, which is wonderful to be able to celebrate somebody else and perhaps help them with their mental health. What a gift. I could be in a very different state. I could be filled with self-pity and sadness, and who knows? I don't know how I'll feel in the morning when I wake up, but what I do know is that these days I tend to have feelings and they move through me. Admittedly, I had a doctor's appointment earlier yesterday morning. I came home at about 10 o'clock and I got back in bed. I stayed in bed until 2 o'clock. I've been feeling like I needed to take a nap. Once again, it's weird here in the Carolinas. In Colorado, we had wintry days. Everything sort of slowed down. The seasons were seasons. And so winter was when the earth was covered and things went to sleep, including the people. So on a snowy day, you got to stay inside and kind of decompress. I don't feel the ability to do that quite as much here in the South. It is chilly some days for sure, but the sun is out more often. And even when it's cloudy, sometimes it's warmer. I feel guilty staying in bed. But today, I let myself stay in bed. And then I got up and met with a friend, and it was a great afternoon. So I feel like I got a little bit of recharge and decompression. My mental health matters to me. I want to thank everybody who has helped me along on my journey. There's been a lot of work that's been done and a lot of people who have participated with me to get me to this point, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them. And it's allowed me to actually be able to say and mean it that I'm grateful for all of it. There was a time in the past when somebody suggested that I be grateful for all of it. It sort of made me want to vomit. I couldn't really conceive the concept of grateful for all of it, even the shitty stuff. Hell no, that's not possible. Absolutely not. And I sit here today, not in jest and not passing out bullshit, not trying to just be hokey, oh, everything's peachy keen, because that is not the way my life is. That's not the way anybody's life is. I've got definite challenges, things going on, and I'm confused often. I have no idea where I'm going. Am I making the right decisions? What am I doing? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Did I make the right decision? Whatever. I'm human. But I can honestly say, at least just for today, that I am grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for all of it. I've moved through it and have found purpose in, I'm going to say, pretty much all of it. I had a fabulous conversation recently. I actually sold my van. Finally, I sold the van. I lost money on it, but whatever. I sold the van. And there was a beautiful moment at the end. I was transitioning the financial paperwork, and I had a conversation with the folks who bought it, and it was a really surprising conversation. I was not expecting it. It was really wonderful. I got to share some stuff with them. They shared some stuff with me. It was not expected. And I thought to myself, holy cow, that was worth losing whatever money I lost. Flip-flopped the material and the spiritual world for me. I feel like the van was the conduit for bringing us together. And I'm grateful for that perspective on things, to be able to find my way out of, once again, feeling sorry perhaps for myself or getting caught up in the material world and thinking that I don't have enough. I have enough. At meditation recently, it was Reiki rejuvenation, and we had to come up with a mantra at one point. And I use the same mantra all the time, really. It's the mantra that I have tattooed on my arm. It says, I am courageous, I am worthy, I am enough. That kind of encompasses everything. I'm enough. If I'm afraid about money, if I'm afraid about being loved, if, whatever it is I might be afraid of, I am courageous, I am worthy, I am enough. And I feel like everyone out there is as well. But it's up to each of us to build that belief within each of us. Somebody leaving me, I'm making a decision, a relationship ends, we lose something, we lose a job, whatever it is, so many things. And instead of, let's say, like, quote, blaming, I do look at myself and think, all right, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That's the only place I can be. Here in my bedroom with my feet up on the bed, computer by my side, microphone close to my face, recording a podcast, for goodness sake. Oh, life is good. Here's to things not being the way they were, and instead being the way they are, and allowing myself to really be in it. When I say life is good, I don't say it because it's not the way it used to be anymore. There's stuff about the past that makes me sad, but that's not the way it is anymore. This is the way it is today, and I can only be in today. In all honesty, my life is good, and if it's not, then it's either about getting rid of my stuff that's making it not good, sitting in a place of acceptance, and we all have that choice. So I'm going to close it out with gently suggesting that you all make your mental health a priority. With work, it'll lead to a place, I think, of being able to find serenity in life as it is, and gratitude for life being as it is, growing through it, changing through it, accepting, surrendering, finding a relationship with something bigger than yourself, whatever you choose to call it, really settling into the fact that regardless of what's going on, and please understand, I'm not minimizing any of the tragic situations that people are in the midst of or have gone through, not making light of any of that stuff, but still finding a way to grasp onto the joy that is available to us in the midst of the madness or in the midst of the adverse situation that happens to be taking place around us. This too shall pass. This life experience will pass. So soak it up. Soak up whatever it is and reach out to somebody so that you are able to really get that you're not alone in this. None of us are alone unless we really choose to be. So do the uncomfortable thing, which is perhaps reach out to a stranger and begin your own journey of recovery and self-discovery. It's a wild and wonderful ride that's yours to be had. On that note, I appreciate you for listening. I thank you for joining me on my journey of getting through this wild and crazy ride called life. Please reach out to me. I would love to hear something from anybody. Find my website, www.lifelovemusicandspacetravel.com. Leave me a voice message on there and tell me a little bit about your life experience, perhaps how you're getting through your grief, what your journey of recovery and self-discovery may have been like. What's the best concert you've ever been to? What concert are you going to? I would love to hear about that, to hear what you're doing and how you're choosing to spend this time on the planet. All right. I think that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye. So we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks so very much for listening. It's now time to reconnect to planet Earth and all that comes with living on the blue ball. I'd love to hear your ideas for future episode topics, along with any and all positive and/or constructive feedback. Please feel free to contact me at ashysbadass@gmail.com. Thanks again for spending some time with me and allowing me to share myself with you. Until next time, please be gentle with yourselves, be kind to animals, and do all you can to allow your authentic selves to shine brightly.